Hi there students, welcome back again to another video lesson for Grade 7 Mathematics Quarter 4. So, previously on the third week of our lesson, we have discussed on how to organize data using a frequency distribution table. So, yung diniscuss po natin na yon na organizing data using a frequency distribution table. So, gagamitin nyo po yon sa ating week 6 and week 7 lessons. So, we're in isosolve natin yung measures of central tendency and measures of variability. So, before that, let us first discuss our lessons for week 4 and 5. So, since marami po kasi yung week lesson natin about this topic, so kaya 2 weeks po siya. So, this topic is about using appropriate graphs to represent organized data. Okay, so on the first video lesson, on the first week, so I have discussed there ways on how to represent data. So wherein pwede natin i-represent using graphical and tabular. So yung tabular na i-discuss na po dun sa previous lesson natin, yung frequency distribution table. So, ngayon naman po, we will discuss how to represent organized data using graphical data, using graphs po. So, for the first topic, we will be discussing pie chart. So, I hope familiar na kayo sa pie chart, pie graph, circle graph. So, isa lang po yan. So, let us start our discussion. So for our lesson objective, we will represent organized data using a pie chart. So there are different ways on how to represent organized data. So kaya nga po 2 weeks yung ating lesson. So may mga graphs po akong ipe-present. Bali, 5 video lessons po yan. So first is pie graph and then another type na i-discuss ko sa ating susunod na video lesson. Now, to start our discussion, let us define what is pie chart. So, for those who are not familiar with pie chart, so pie chart is a type of graph where data is displayed using a circular graph. Ayan, kitang-kita naman po dyan, basang-basa na we use circular graph, pabilog. So, a circle is divided into sectors proportional to the frequencies. Okay, so since pie chart po yan, circular siya, so hinahati-hati po natin yan based dun sa information, so dun sa data na given. So kung ilan ang hati, so ilan % kada hati, depende po yan sa ating data. So the entire pie represents 100% or one whole, and pie slices represents a portion of the whole. Okay, so yung buong bilog, yung buong pie graph, ang nire-represent nun is 100% kabuuan. And then, yung pie slices, kapag ini-slice po natin, syempre, di ba, yung pizza, like for example, yung pie. So, nire-represent lang po niya is yung portion. Part lang po nung whole. Okay, pero kapag pinagsama-sama natin yung mga slices na yon, syempre, ang mabubuo natin is one whole. 100%. So, next, how do we create a pie chart? So, ito syempre ang one important lesson na kailangan nyong matutunan. How to create a pie chart. So, to create a pie chart, you should have a list of categorical variables. Okay, so yung mga categorical variables na yan, hindi naman po yan kailangan na ina-arrange sila. Like for example, sex, age group, and educational attainment. And as well as numerical variables such as general weighted average, number of tickets sold, and number of junior high school students. So let us now proceed to steps in creating pie charts. So yung unang-unang step po natin is organize your data in a table and get the total. Okay, so since one important topic natin sa statistics is yung organizing data, So, kailangan nating i-organize yung data, isaayos yung data sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng table. And then, kukunin natin yung total. So, mahalaga po ang total kapag ang lesson po natin is pie graph. So, next, divide each value of each category by the total. Okay, so, para malalaman natin yung kung gaano kalaki, gaano kaliit yung hati ng bawat item, so, dinidivide po natin yun dun sa nakuha po nating total, dun sa first step. And then, multiply the result by 100 to get the percentage of each value. So, since dinivide natin yun, makakakuha po tayo ng sagot na decimal. And then, since percentage ang kinukuha natin kapag pie charts, imumultiply lang po natin yun by 100 or just simply move 2 decimal places to the right. Like for example, so, ang sagot natin halimbawa 0.34. Move 2 decimal places to the right. 1, 2. So, in percentage form, 0.34 or 34 hundredths is equivalent to 34%. So, ibig sabihin, kapag hinati natin siya, yung portion na yan, kailangan makita natin na 34% siya dun sa kabuuan ng circle. So, hinahati natin yung circle based dun sa percentage. Siyempre, mas malaking percentage, mas malaki yung hati. Next, to find out the measure of each sector or central angle, multiply the percentage for each category by 360 degrees. So, sa pie charts, pinag-uusapan din po natin dyan yung sector or central angle. So, central angle, ito po yung angle na kung saan yung vertex niya is mismong nasa center ng circle. Okay, so para makukuha natin yung sukat ng angle na yun, yung sector, multiply natin yung nakuha nating percentage for each category, for each item, by 360 degrees. So, since angle ang pinag-uusapan natin, kailangan po naka-express yung ating mga sagot in degree form. So, 360, multiply lang po natin sa 360. It's because yung one whole circle, isang buong bilog, that is equivalent to 360 degrees. Okay. So, di ba familiar kayo dun sa mga pictures, mga videos na 360 degrees? Ibig sabihin, iniikot. Makikita mo ang buong paligid kasi naka 360 degrees. Next, finally, draw a circle. You can use a protractor to measure each sector or central angle. Okay, so kapag dinadraw na natin yung angle, pwede tayong gumamit ng protractor. So, protractor is an instrument used to measure angles. Okay, so para mas maging accurate, maging tama yung mga measure ng sector. Walang lalamang, walang magkukulang, walang sosobra. Okay, so ginagamit natin yung protractor. So, let's have example. So, naturo ko na po sa inyo yung steps. So, para mas maging effective yung mga steps, syempre, kailangan i-apply natin using examples. So, for example number 1, so a survey was conducted among grade 7 students to determine their favorite among 5 subjects at school. 9 students liked Filipino, 15 liked English, 21 liked mathematics, 3 like science, and 12 like aralin panlipunan. Construct a circle graph and answer the following questions. Okay, so nagkaroon ng survey. Tinanong nila yung mga grade 7 students kung alin dun sa 5 subjects ang kanilang paborito. Kaya yan po ang naging resulta ng kanilang survey. So ngayon gagawa tayo ng circle graph para mas makita nyo kung alin dyan sa mga subjects na yan ang pinakagusto ng mga students, alin ang hindi. Okay. So, and then we will answer the following questions. So, for the first question, what percentage of the students correspond to the most liked and disliked subjects? Okay. So, mamaya, papakita natin kung paano kunin yung percentage ng yung mga subjects na pinakagusto at hindi. And then, in the circle graph, what is the measure of the central angle corresponding to each subject? Okay, so kukunin din po natin dyan yung mga sukat ng mga central angle, yung kada sector nung circle. So let us have our first step. So, organize the given data in a table and get the total. So, dun sa ating problem kanina, naka-indicate yung mga number ng students na pumili nung kada subject. So, para mas makita nyo sila ng maayos, organize, so, we will organize them using a table and get the total. So, sulat natin yung mga subjects. So, Filipino, English, Mathematics, Science, and Araling Panlipunan. And then yung pinaka bottom row natin, pinaka ibaba, ilalagay natin dito is total. So, ilan ang pumili ng Filipino? 9. English naman, 15. Math, 21. Science, 3. And then 12 for Araling Panlipunan. And then kapag inad natin yan, we'll get, so the answer will be 60. So, ibig sabihin, there are 60 students na lumahok dun sa survey. So, 60 students ang kanilang tinanong kung ano yung kanilang paboritong subjects out of the 5 subjects given. Filipino, English, Math, Science, and Araling Panlipunan. So, for the next steps, step 2 and 3, so divide each value of each category by the total, and then multiply the result by 100 to get the percentage of each value. Okay, so yan po yung ating step 1 kanina. Ayan, nakikita nyo yung bilang ng students kada subject. So, paano natin makukuha yung percentage? So, ang gagawin lang po natin, kung ilan yung pumili ng kada subject, i-divide lang po natin sa total, which is 60. And then, i-multiply natin yung result by 100 para makuha natin yung percentage. So, mangyayari ganito siya. 9 divided by 60. So, the answer is 0.15. And then, multiplying 0.15 by 100 will get 15%. Next, 15 divided by 60, that is 0.25 times 100 will get 25%. Next, 21 divided by 60 will get 0.35 times 100, that is 35%. So, 0.35, pwede po tayong mag-move ng 2 decimal places to the right. So, para mas madali tayong makakuha ng sagot. Make sure 2 decimal places to the right lang po tayo. Next, science naman, 3 divided by 60 will get 0.05 times 100, that is 5%. Finally, 12 divided by 60, that is 0.20 times 100, that is 20%. And then, kapag inad natin lahat ng nakadecimal na yan, ang makukuha po natin is 1.00. And then, that is equivalent to the sum of 15%, 25, 35, 5, and 20%, which is 100%. So, let us check. 15 plus 25, that is 40. Plus 35, 75. Plus 5, 80. And then plus 20, 100. So, ibig sabihin, ayan po yung percentage of students na pumili sa Filipino, English, Math, Science, and AP. And then, kitang-kita naman natin dyan, alin sa mga yan yung highest percentage. So, anong subject yung pinakagusto or favorite ng mga students. So next step, number 4, multiply each decimal value by 360 degrees to determine the measure of each sector or central angle. So ayan. So for example, Filipino. So yung decimal value niya is 0.15. So yung 0.15 na yon, i-multiply lang po natin sa 360 degrees. And then kapag minultiply natin yon, makukuha po natin is 54 degrees. Ibig sabihin, yung central angle na nagko-correspond dun sa subject na Pilipino ay may measure na 54 degrees. Next, English naman, 0.25 times 360 degrees will get 90 degrees. Next, mathematics naman, 0.35 times 360 degrees. Ang makukuha po nating sagot dyan is 126 degrees. And then for science, 0.05 times 360 will get a product of 18 degrees. And then finally for AP, so 0.20 times 360 degrees will get 72 degrees. So how will you know if your answer is incorrect? So ang gagawin nyo lang po is i-add nyo lang po lahat ng mga nakuha nyong measure for the central angle. And then kailangan ang sum na makuha nyo is 1 whole circle, which is 360 degrees. Now for step 5, draw a circle. And then you can use a protractor to measure each sector or central angle. So ayan po yung ating mga nakuhang percentage for every subjects. For Filipino, we have 15%, English 25%, Mathematics 25%, for Science 5%, and for Araling Panlipunan, we have 20%, which is a total of 100%. So, kapag circle graph, remember po, kailangan 100% po yan. So, kapag pinag-add po lahat natin ng mga portion, kailangan makuha natin yung isang buo, which is 100%. So, ayan. So, ayan po yung ating bilog. And then, hahati-hatiin lang po natin yan. So, ayan, hatiin muna natin sa gitna. And then, so, ayan, yung kalahati, hinati pa sa gitna. So, kung yung kalahati is 50% and then hinati yung 50%, so, ibig sabihin, yung hati na yun corresponds to 25%. So, ibig sabihin, dito sa portion na to, dito po yung English, which is 25%. Next, hatiin natin yung natitirang 15%, 25% sa dalawa. So, yung pinakamaliit, yung hati natin, nagko-correspond po yan sa science, which is 5%. So, kung meron tayong 25 tsaka 5, yung portion dito sa hati natin na 50%, yung nasa right side, para naman po yan sa AP, sa Araling Panlipunan, which is 20%. So, ayan, nailagay na po natin yung tatlong subjects, English, AP, and Science. And then, yung nawawala na lang po dyan is yung Mathematics and Filipino. So, yung other half natin, so, ayan, mapapansin nyo, 15 saka 35, kapag pinag-add natin yan is 50%. So, ayan, nasa left side po sila. So, paano natin yun hatiin? So, ayan. Ganyan po. So, syempre, yung 35%, lumagpas siya dun sa kalahati nung 50%. So, ayan. Dito po natin ilalagay yung mathematics. Kasi may pinakamalaking portion siya, which is 35%. And then, yung sa Filipino naman, dito siya. Filipino, we have 15%. As you can see, ayan, nakahati na po yung ating circle into 5 kasi 5 yung subjects. And then kada subjects, meron silang corresponding percentage. Nakitang-kita naman natin na pinakamalaking percentage ang meron sa mathematics. And then pinakamababa naman for science. So to answer question number 1, what percentage of the students correspond to the most liked and disliked subjects? So ayan po yung ating circle graph. So pwede nating pangalanin yung circle graph natin. So halimbawa yan, since subjects ang pinag-uusapan natin, so pwede nating ilagay as favorite subjects of grade 7. Ayan. So, kailangan may title po yan. Next, alin ba dito sa mga subjects yan ang most liked? Basically, yun pong mathematics. So, yung most liked po is mathematics, which corresponds to 35% of the grade 7 students surveyed. Next, yung most disliked naman, yung pinaka hindi nila gusto is science. And then nagko-correspond yun sa 5% nung students na kanilang tinanong. So, ayan. Next, for question number 2, in the circle graph, what is the measure of the central angle corresponding to each subject? So, ayan. Yung mga na-solve natin kanina. So, for Filipino, yung measure ng central angle niya, 54 degrees. For English, we have 90 degrees, which is a right angle. So, ito po yung English. Ayan, right angle siya. Kasi 90 degrees ang kanyang sukat. And then, mathematics naman, 126 degrees. For science, 18 degrees. And then, AP, 72 degrees. Okay, so makukuha natin yung measure ng central angle kapag minultiply natin yung decimal value dun sa 360 degrees. And then i-add lahat natin yan from 54 up to 72 degrees. Kailangan ang makuha po nating sagot is 1 whole circle, which is 360 degrees. So, ayan. So, I hope natulungan ko kayo kung ano yung process ng pag-create ng pie charts. So, kahit na iba-iba yung mga problems natin na sasagutin, grade 7 students, ang mahalaga doon, alam nyo kung ano yung mga steps. So, i-apply nyo lang yung mga steps na yan na napag-aralan nyo dito sa ating video lesson, makukuha nyo po yung mismong graph na kailangan nyong i-illustrate. So, I hope naging clear tayo doon. So, for our next video lesson, we will again represent organized data. This time, using another graphical representations, which is using a bar graph. So, i-discuss po natin yan sa ating susunod na video lesson. So, yun lang. Maraming salamat.